What's good, y'all? It's 8wayjako, and today I'm gonna show you how to make some futuristic melodies for Lil Uzi Vert. Let's get into it. First, I just open up Serum and look for a preset. I usually look for pads, synths, or keys because they're the most spacey. Here I dragged in this key breathe from one of the preset packs that I have. For these Uzi type melodies, I like to stay in a minor key, and then I just do a 1-7-6 chord progression like this. I'm just gonna start by doing, a minor chord here, major chord here, and then go down one even more. For these type of melodies, I like to do like this rhythm. This is what that progression sounds like. It sounds very nice, very spacey. And then you can go ahead and enhance the chords in any type of way you want, like octave up a melody or add to the chord like this, like, it sounds very nice. I'm gonna delay this note a little bit just so it gives it a little bit more movement. Nah, I like A sharp. Ooh, that's nice, that's nice. After you have these chords down, before it resolves, I don't really like how this ends up going back to this, so we need something to resolve the entire melody. Listen. Like, it just kind of sounds a bit weird going back to that chord. So I'm gonna just press Control B here and flip this entire melody so that it actually goes back up. Feel me? That going up goes right nicely into that. But I'm gonna change the rhythm up a little bit. I'm gonna bring these melodies back like this. I'm gonna copy the root notes down too. Then I'm gonna octave up that note there so it gives it even more like movement and variation so it doesn't feel boring. A lot of this is ear too, just making it very melodic. It's more so sound selection than just being creative and making sure the melody has movement and just a lot of beautiful melodies. What I'm doing here with these chords is just adding a bit of a top line so that gives it even more flavor. So I'm just kind of going by ear and seeing what type of melodies sound nice on top. I would say don't do too much with it because you still want it to like flow in sort of an ambient way for these futuristic melodies. Still give it enough movement for it not to be boring. All right, I changed up this melody right here, sort of at the end to have this movement. I kind of like that, but I don't want it to play every time. So I'm actually gonna duplicate it and then leave it the exact same way it was before I changed it. And that should give it some, movement, some variation to it so it's not just playing the same thing the entire time. Here's what this full chord progression sounds like. As you can see, very Uzi, very melodic. We love how this is sounding. Next step is layering. We're just gonna go ahead and clone this serum right here and pull out a different preset. I went ahead and went with this Pluck Emerald Zone. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy the entire MIDI and drag it in here and hear what it sounds like. You already know that sounds hard. You already know that sounds hard as fuck. I'm gonna drag that into the playlist, consolidate it as an audio clip. Once it's there, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the trim knob all the way up, cut it right at the end. Then we're gonna open this up in Edison. We're gonna hit this button right here. This is the blur. It's gonna add some like reverb. Once it's now blurred, we're gonna drag that back into the playlist, turn the trim knob all the way up again, cut it right at the end, delete this other one, pitch this up by 12 semitones, also known as an octave. Then we're gonna route it into, a mixer, and we're gonna put some OTT on it. Let's hear that. Now you might be wondering, why does that sound a little bit weird on its own? Like, that doesn't seem like the best thing to add, because it's not on its own. I like how it sounded a little bit more on this end with that little top line. So I went ahead and duplicated that second part and just put it on both ends. But here's what it sounds like with the actual melody. Just gives it a little more texture, a little bit more high end, and a bit more shininess. Now we're gonna go ahead and add some strings. Let's grab the Biggie Bow's high string and then put it on my strings preset just like this so it drops off a little bit, but it starts fast. There we go, very nice. And then I like to just have it kind of go like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I want it to go like how the metronome will go, just every beat, All right, now that we have the strings down, this is what it sounds like. It's already sounding really good, but I low-key don't like how high the strings are, so I'm gonna actually transpose the whole melody down like 3 semitones. That's a trick you can try on all your beats. It always helps like refresh it and make it sound cool and like new to you. Here's how it sounds now, transposed down 3. That sounds actually beautiful, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a bell. I put the note on F so it just kind of hits like this. Sounds pretty nice. Now for the final thing I'm going to add to the melody, just a lead. For this, I'm gonna go ahead and go on to my MIDI keyboard back here and just go play some shit in, you know? If you don't have one, it's okay. You can still tap it in, but I love playing in melodies on the keyboard. All right, now that we have it tapped in, we're gonna go ahead and quantize it and just fix it up a little bit. Okay, now that we fixed up the lead, this is what it sounds like. That little part of the end is just the cherry on top, bruh. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on mono, legato, and then turn on the portamento so that this has some slide to it. I'm gonna highlight every note and just kind of drag it out a little bit so that it slides. That's just so we have no clicking and the lead is just so much smoother. One tip about your leads, just make them catchy. If you can't hum it, get rid of it. We have all the melody done. Let's go ahead and start on the 808. Make sure you have that clipper on your master too. Follow the root notes of the chords. This one's confusing because I actually transposed this root note up, but it actually would be F as the root note here. So that's why the 808 is on F right here. Let's go ahead and switch that pattern up. All right, here's the final 808 pattern I came up with. That sounds already fire. Let's go ahead and cut the lows out of the melody as well. We do not want it clashing, bro. I actually want to turn the BPM up a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn the BPM to like, I don't know, like 143, 144. Let's go ahead and open up the 8wayjako X Sniper drum kit. Let's go to close hats and let's just grab a hi-hat from here. For these ones, I like to do the patterns where it's like, you know what I mean? So let's just delete that third hi-hat right there. So it's like, and then yeah, I like to just put some rolls in there, cut out some hi-hats. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do that right now. Usually it's just by feel of like drum bounce and everything like that. Variation in the hi-hats I feel like makes these beats so fun to listen to. This is the pattern we have down now for the hi-hats. And then I'm gonna just keep copying that over. One thing I like to do with my hi-hats is press Alt-R and then play with this velocity knob and then also the panning. This is gonna make the notes have a random value for both the velocity and the panning. And sometimes I even play with the pitch. I'm not going to on this beat. Let's go ahead and grab a snare. All right, for here, I usually like the bounce to be on these off beats. If I'm gonna put a snare down, it's usually gonna be in like a middle of one of these sections. Now I'm beatboxing. I gotta hear it. I'm like, and then I gotta end. Then we just go ahead and drag this one out. Go ahead and make it quick chop and then just do this like that roll right there. You put two notes down like that. It's just going. I'm gonna copy that over. I don't want this playing every time, so I'm just actually gonna delete that and I'm gonna delete these three notes here. Keep it very simple on the snares. All right, as far as like a crash or anything like that, I usually just use like a noise drop or some type of SFX I have in some of my kits, but this is what this one sounds like. Here's the full arranged beat. If you like this video or found it helpful, go ahead, subscribe, hit that like button, and join the Discord in the description. Man, we got hella producers in there. Let's go ahead and play that full beat.
8wayjako.